Welcome to GDs. And this is Mayans M.C. Season 1. Season starts with the Mayans, Santo Padre charter, preparing to transport a shipment of drugs, and the charter president is Bishop. And we are also introduced to Easy Reyes, who joins the Mayans as a new prospect, after getting out early from the prison, for killing a cop. And he is introduced in the charter by his brother Angel, who is already a member. And he is accompanying the crew to Vegas. But on the way, they are ambushed, and the shipment is looted. Mayans, losing the shipment, explain the situation to cartel boss, Miguel Galindo, the head of the Galindo cartel. Miguel, blaming Bishop, and the crew, for the loss of shipment, wants them to track those who attack them. And as they try to figure out who jacked the cargo, Easy reveals the ink he saw on them. And we get to know that he has a photographic memory. Bishop is not happy with Easy for speaking out of turn. But with him identifying the tattoos, they now know that it was the Samoan gang who attacked them. And as they return, Angel, along with Easy, Coco, and Gilly, go to the Mexican side, to get their injured member treated. While the rest of them go to a building, leaving behind Easy as a lookout. And they return with a bag, with Easy not knowing what is happening. They finally return back at the club. And are joined by Marcus Alvarez, the founder of the Mayans. And they come up with a plan, to capture the Samoan leader. And as they go for a meeting with him, it turns into a gun battle. The Samoan leader tries to escape, but he is finally captured by them, with some help, from the Sons. And as he is interrogated by Miguel, he reveals, that he was just a hired gun, and the ones who gave the order, is a rebel group, known as the Los Olvidados. And they have been launching attacks on his organization in Mexico also. Easy sees his ex-girlfriend Emily, along with a kid, and he remembers how deeply they were in love, before he went to prison. And when Emily came to see him, he broke off with her. And as she storms out of the prison, she lets him know that she was pregnant. And now we find, that Emily is married to Miguel Galindo. And he is the father of the child. In addition, as Easy comes to his father's butcher shop, we learn that he is working as an informant for DEA agent Jimenez, and this is the reason he got an early release from the prison. Though in his deal, he has only agreed to take down Miguel Galindo, and not the Mayans. Angel also brings Easy to his secret, wherein he goes to the Mexican side, and introduces Easy, with Adelita, and she is the head of the rebels. And Angel gives her the package, and Easy now figures out, that Angel is the mole. Angel explains to him, that the cartel is going down, and he is doing this to align the club with the rebels. As he believes them to be the future. While on the other hand, Adelita gives an order, and her crew goes after Emily, and they kidnap her son and shoot her bodyguards. Emily makes it home, and Miguel, getting to know this, assures her that he will get their son back. Miguel calls the MC and asks them to help him look for his son, and gives them the description of the car in which his son was taken. Easy had spotted the car earlier, but because of Angel he doesn't speak up, and Angel, also not knowing anything, wants him to hold the information for now. Emily, afraid, upset, and angry, asks Miguel about the rebels, and requests him not to do anything which can threaten their child. Miguel received a video of the rebels destroying his drugs, and they were able to identify a street vendor in the background. And now they have brought him here for interrogation. But he doesn't know anything, and as they were about to torture his kid, Angel was able to stop them, by letting them know the location of the car. But it doesn't lead them anywhere. Miguel's mother Dita, and one of his advisors Devante, lets him know, that once his elder brother was also kidnapped, but his father refused to give in to their demands, but instead used force to hunt him down. And as a result, they lost his brother. But his father emerged stronger than before. Miguel believed that his brother died because of pneumonia, and his mother informs him that it was a story for those who didn't know. Hearing this, Miguel gave the order to go on the offensive. And in Mexico, Angel tells Adelita that the kid is also important to his brother, as Emily was his ex-girlfriend. And Adelita assures him that nothing will happen to the kid. And as they were about to leave, they find the burned bodies of the street vendor and his child in the center of the town, and it serves as a warning to those supporting the rebels. And as they return back, Easy gets a visit from Emily at his father's butcher shop, and Emily wants him to tell him the truth, as no one is telling her anything. Easy, still having feeling for her, tells her that the cartel has already retaliated by burning 2 people. And as Emily thinks that she will never see her son again, Easy assures her that he will never let anything happen to him. On the other hand, Miguel's men have been hunting for the rebels in Mexico, but are always one step behind. And knowing that the rebels take in children, they have started cultivating spies in them. Adelita wants Angel to move the remaining drugs which they have, so that they could have money in order for the next phase of the plan, and Angel lets her know that he has a Chinese buyer lined up. And on the other side of the border, Mayans are worried about the shipment of drugs because of all the rebel activities. But Miguel assures them that it will not cause any interruption. In addition, the Chinese want to meet them personally this time, as they lost the last shipment. And as they go for the meeting on neutral grounds, we find that Angel's Chinese buyer is one of the Chinese form the meeting. And with the meeting getting over, and things being finalized, Bishop shoots the Chinese, and he tells the crew that this is what the Chinese wanted, as he was going behind their backs. And with this, Angel loses his buyer. Whereas Emily, getting to know what Miguel has done, is angry and upset with him and doesn't trust him, and this distance can also be seen in their relationship. And in Mexico, the spies Miguel cultivated finally paid off, and now they know the face of the enemy. In addition, he also gets to know that his son is still alive. On the other hand, locals at the border have been shooting illegals, but this time the one they shoot also had some illegal pills. And the mayor wants Bishop to look into it, as she doesn't want feds to get involved. And when Bishop goes to the local leader, Easy spots a shot collar from when he was in the prison. And now in order to shut them, they need to take them out. But when they went for the kill, they were already eliminated by their partners. And Angel, in order to sell the drugs, got the number of their buyers and contacted them. And he gave a visit to Angel, and we find out that they were in the army, and for now, agree to buy for him. But first, he will have to smuggle their translator and his wife from Mexico. Angel goes with Easy to get them, but the Mexican police were already there, and they grab them also. And they send Easy to get them money in exchange for their life. Easy goes to Adelita with Coco to get help, and she decides to help them out, and they go for the exchange and provide him drugs instead of the money, but he was not willing to let everyone walk off. And Adelita, with the help of her rabbits, takes out the federales, saving everyone. And we get to know about a connection between Angel and Adelita. And with the translator safe, they were able to sell the products and raise capital. Meanwhile, Emily, knowing of an upcoming festival in Mexico, advises Miguel to use it to turn the people against the rebels. And Miguel is impressed with the plan. Miguel, along with Emily, participate in it, and as they get to the church, they find a nun beaten to death, and the act is being claimed to have been done by the rebels. But during the aftermath, Emily is injured, as she is crushed in the crowd. With Emily being injured, Easy can't help himself and goes to see her, to make sure that she is okay, and Miguel's men see him leaving. And Miguel warns Easy to stay away from his wife. On the other hand, Jimenez's boss, finding out that Miguel's son has been kidnapped, wants him to force Easy to get back with Emily, in order to turn her against Miguel. Though Jimenez is apprehensive about the plan, but his boss pushes him, and he agrees to get it done. But when he tells Easy about the same, Easy refuses, and Jimenez lets him know that if he will not do this, he will lose his deal. But Easy still refuses. Jimenez, in order to force Easy, goes to Felipe and threatens him of uncovering his real identity if he doesn't push Easy to do what was needed. And we learn that Felipe was actually a cop in Mexico and worked for the cartel. And he reveals who he was to Jimenez, showing him pictures of whom he used to be, and threatens him and his family, and warns him not to push him or his family. Meanwhile, Devante provides Alvarez the photo of the rebel leader, and they are keeping it close, not knowing whom they can trust. And we also learn that Coco has a daughter, and she just found out the same, after being raised by Coco's mother, and she thought that Coco was her brother. But now, Coco is trying to step up. Emily, shaken up by the incident in Mexico, visits Easy, but before anything could happen, Angel interrupts them, and Emily returns home, and she gets in an argument with Miguel, and they ended up making out. On the other hand, Adelita lets their local bishop know that the rebels were not behind the attack on the church, and the bishop knows this already, and he has been supporting her. And with Angel selling the drugs, he gives Adelita the payment, and they begin their next phase of the plan. She also leaves a location where they will be going next, and Miguel's spy was able to get this information back to him. Miguel and Emily's relationship has improved a lot after their makeout, and as Miguel gets ready to go after the rebels, he receives a call demanding a ransom in exchange for his son, and they ask him to come to Mexico alone, crossing the border. Miguel agrees to pay the ransom, and wants his men to hold the attack until he has his son. On the other hand, Coco's daughter is in trouble, and Easy helps her out, by disposing the body of a trucker, whom she killed as he attacked her. Whereas, Jimenez, shaken up by Felipe's threat, has decided to take a vacation and he informs him the same. Miguel gets his son after the rebels receive the payment, and he ordered his men to attack. But no one was at the location, and we learn that it was just a test for the boy's loyalty. And him failing it, Minnie pushes him down from the roof. Miguel was not able to get through the border crossing, as the blanket in which they gave his son had drugs in it, and he is being held at the border crossing. And with Miguel being in holding, Adelita crosses over, and is helped by the Reyes brothers. And she goes to their father Felipe, and we find that she is the daughter of his partner. She informs him that 2 years after he left, his father also left the cartel to settle with his mom. But one day, men from the cartel showed up, and hacked her parents, as well as his brother in front of her, and she only survived as her mother was able to hide her, before they entered the house. And the men, before killing her father, told him that his old friend broke the oath and betrayed him, and that's how they knew where he was. And Adelita thinks he is the one who gave him up, but Felipe informs her that he never knew where his father was, as he left before him, and never contacted anyone, and the only other person who knew where he was, is the one who took the picture, and their friend, the priests, who is now the bishop. And Adelita, after seeing the pictures, believes him, and leaves. Easy, returning home, finds the documents left behind by his father, and he learns the truth about his father's real identity. And we find that Felipe went to his old friend to warn him about Adelita, and return the favor, as he helped him get out so many years ago. Meanwhile, with Jimenez not being able to turn Easy, he learns that his deal has been pulled, and he informs Easy to stay clear of the cops, and he will try to get something done, after he learns from Easy that Miguel is in prison. And as the Mayans are stopped by the cops, Easy runs away, in order to not get caught in front of the club, and also to protect the others from being searched. While Jimenez bursts into the command room, where Potter is now heading the investigation, and he wants him not to burn Easy, and informs him that he just received an intel from Easy that Miguel is being held at the border. And as they verify the information, Potter allows Easy deals to stand for now, and he is released. While at the club, Coco's daughter returns with self-inflicted wounds, as she had an argument with Coco's mother. And as Coco went to confront her, he in rage ends up killing her. On the other hand, Adelita goes to meet Miguel in the prison, as the guards are paid off, and she offers him a deal. She lets him know that she can destroy his entire operation, but if she will do so, someone new will take his place. So she doesn't want to destroy it, but instead wants to work with him. And together they will have a great reach, and will limit corruption and violence. And in order to keep both of them accountable, they will appoint a third party as a mediator. And Adelita leaves, giving him time to think. And Miguel is released from prison. And as he returns home with his son, Potter raids his house, and they arrest him along with his wife, and they take custody of their son. Potter threatens Miguel, and shows him he can keep him and his wife away from their son for a very long time, or they could get out immediately, provided he agrees to work for them. He shows him all the intel they have on him, and is pushing them to make a deal. Potter lets Miguel know that he wants to keep the rebels in check, and with him partnering up, they can do it easily. But Miguel is not so willing, as his father was crushed because of the deal he made with the CIA. And Potter lets him know that this is the only way for his life to be easy. At the same time, Jimenez, getting to know that they might cut a deal with Miguel, is quite angry, as he spent 2 years making a case against him. And he threatens Potter by letting him know that he might talk with reporters and provide them with information. Jimenez informs Easy about the same, and he wants him to run, but Easy, knowing his brother sponsored him in the club, and he will also be held responsible for him, decides not to run, and to face whatever that might be coming. Miguel, after a lot of thinking, and knowing his wife and son are also being held, finally agrees to sign the deal. And they are allowed to leave, and Easy is not exposed yet. Easy and Angel help out Coco as they dispose his mother's body, but on their way, they are stopped by cops, and seeing the body in the car, they are arrested. But Potter makes the case disappear, and he informs Angel about his brother being the informant, but only for the Galindo cartel and not the club. But now his services are no longer needed. But they might be needed in the future, and they now owe him. Angel takes out his anger on Easy for being an informant, and is even more disappointed learning that their father already knew about it. Meanwhile, Miguel is back home and is thinking on how to move forward, and he wants to play Potter by making him believe they are going after the rebels, but simultaneously also work with them. But Devante doesn't think it's the right way to move forward, while Emily tells him to do what he thinks is right for him. And as he thinks, he finds some old records of his father. On the other hand, Jimenez, finding every item in his office being removed, decides to leave, and informs Felipe the same, telling him that Potter has been appointed by the DOJ for all matters relating to Mexico now. And in Mexico, Miguel's men are informed by the bishop that he can flush Adelita out. Miguel calls for a meeting, and he informs everyone about his deal with the CIA, against Devante's wishes. In addition, he also tells them that they will be partnering up with the rebels, but show Potter that they are fighting them, but in reality, they will work with them under his nose, and make profits for everyone. And Miguel introduces everyone with Adelita. With the deal being finalized, Miguel tells Devante that he found out that his brother died because of pneumonia, from the records he found, and since he along with his mother lied about it, in order to manipulate him, he doesn't trust him. In addition, he was the one who killed Adelita's family. So as a sign of trust, he hands over Devante to Adelita. And we also get to see the bishop hanging in the church. And as all things are settled, the brothers get a message from Potter, and he wants them to eliminate Jimenez, as he thinks Jimenez might expose them. Easy and Angel both know that if it's not done, Potter will get them behind the bars. Thus both of them go to his house, not telling each other. But it turned out that Jimenez was not alone in the house, and his boss was also there, and both the brothers, in order to save each other, ended up killing 2 agents. Potter helps them clean it up, and later he deletes EZ's record as being an informant. Angel wants Easy to be out of the club, but Easy refuses, and asks Bishop to become his sponsor, as being sponsored by his brother is making things difficult for them. Whereas with Devante gone, Miguel asked Marcus to join him, and Marcus decides to leave the club, but he divides powers between 3 charters. We also learn that Easy and Angel's mother was shot in an attempted robbery, and Easy, because of his memory, remembered the car which drove by. And when he spotted the car again, he went after the man in the car. And as he chased him down and tried to shoot him, he ended accidentally shooting a cop. But before he was arrested, he saw the face of the shooter. And as the season ends, Marcus joins Miguel, while Easy spots the shooter in his club, and he is a member of Sam Crow. Thanks for watching. And if you liked it, please subscribe.